What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of the Sobcast. And thanks for giving that feedback and response in the last video. And keep telling us what we need to work on because we're trying to get
this
better.
Sucks.
Yeah, it sucks pretty much right
Okay,
now.
well, episode 2 kind of sucked because it was Monday afternoon, and I was passionate about the topic at first, but then I guess as the day went on, kind of lost its steam. But trying something new here. Today we're going to try to talk about one topic, and today's topic is Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump.
I would like to start this session off with a quote. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah.
To quote the very regal and just virile human being, Ed Lover. Come on, son. Donald Trump, please, your hair is just awful. That is all I have to say.
I actually watched a video on like people talking about his hair. It's like
a comb over.
Yeah, no, it's supposedly be really long actually.
Let's put aside politics for like the moment and just talk about how awful his hair is. I'm sorry. If you want to win presidential whatever, you gotta go with the Dwight D. Eisenhower comb over. That just looks slightly better.
Wait, you mean like being bald?
Basically.
Shaving your head?
Yeah, why not?
See, by talking about his hair, we're playing right into his evil plot. What he's doing is he has this ridiculous hair for exactly this purpose, so everyone just talks about his hair.
He is 69 years old.
Eisenhower had a tiny bit of a comb over, though. But like, if most of Donald Trump's hair was just gone, he would be less ugly than he is now.
I wouldn't say that.
Really? I feel like his hair right now is just so bad. And like, it's on like a hot day, it's gonna get like, all frizzy and stuff. So, when the moisture's really high, it's not working. He's fired.
Hey, Carter, it's better than your hair in 8th grade. I'm just saying.
You know what? Shut up. Shut up.
Okay, so now that the hair discussion is out of the way, let's try and hit some of those key issues. Okay, so a bit of background here. Donald Trump announces his presidency about the end of June of this year. I remember because I actually made an impulse video on it, which never happens because it was just so crazy at the time where it's like, oh, no one's going to take this guy seriously. But now, fast forward to now, and it's a few months later, and he's basically leading every single poll in the country.
So I would like to, I know everybody just hates on him all the time. I know Noah will actually like this one point. This may be the one thing that Noah likes about Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is like the one candidate I have seen who's opposed to the TPP. He called it a disaster, and he said that other countries will dupe the U.S. per Russia Today, RT, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking at an article that says Trump does not like the TPP.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. I mean, it implies that he has an IQ over 40, so...
So basically, he's a little bit of ahead of most of the other political candidates in terms of the TPP.
Yeah. In that case, yeah. But I mean...
Ignoring his billion other views that most people regard as terrible.
Ignoring every other aspect of...
I wouldn't say every other. I would. I mean, I don't know what his economic policy is like, but as long as he ain't...
Well, basically, he wants to
starting
get rid of
another
Mexico
war
and start, building business inside the U.S. He called, I'm looking at an article at Quartz.com. He called Mexican immigrants to the U.S. Criminals and rapists. And he said Mexico is not our friend. They're killing us at the border, and they're killing us on our jobs and trade.
And that's just a gross generalization. I feel like, yes, of course, there are immigrants who are...
in Mexico. So he's basically a hypocrite to himself.
Yeah, so,
more or less.
Speaking of generalizations, I probably shouldn't say everything, but I mean, when the guy wants to, and this is basically a quote, wants to build a giant wall at the border of Mexico and make Mexico pay for it, like he can do that, I think you got to kind of reevaluate, what he knows, if he knows what
It's
he's
like
doing, right? Like,
a person running for student election and promising like free pizza every Friday for lunch,
Oh
and
yeah.
That's
yeah,
what
that's
like
exactly
everybody
what it is.
says.
Of course,
yeah,
everyone knows that students have no power in the
y-
school,
yeah.
judging by the parking situation. Oh yeah,
It's like
update on the parking situation. They put it
No
back
one
to
wants
the
this
stupid
shit.
way.
Also in the
nobody cares
mornings
now.
now.
Yeah,
They took
Everyone
it.
cares. It's the worst, and I hate it.
They
nobody cares besides us.
they put it
Yeah,
back for
Literally, I
one
don't
day.
care.
They put it back for one day so that we could get our hopes up. And it's like, oh, maybe they changed, just so that they could ruin our dreams one last time. So
I'm
anyway,
okay.
back to
Anyways,
Trump.
clearly Trump's opinions on immigrants are gross generalizations. But of course, like any group of people, there are going to be rapists and murderers in that group. I don't think he really cited any facts necessarily on exact statistics.
Well, I
And
Yeah,
it
think
was clearly a
his
gross
his
generalization.
claims is mostly like repetition of like supporting the U.S., but he has no like evidence to his repetition of saying, "Oh, China, bad China, everything's worse in China, whatever shit."
well, I think
Oh
when you
yeah,
look at
his take on what China was doing was pretty stupid. Basically, what China did is they depreciated their currency most recently,
Yeah,
which should cause an influx in exports from China because it's cheaper to buy Chinese exports. But at the same time, you should see a rebound in the foreign stock markets because it's better to invest in the foreign stock markets because your return will be worth more in
well,
the foreign dollars.
macroeconomics. Nice
okay,
job, Carter.
I
You're
think
welcome, fam.
when you look at Trump, he has a very confrontational attitude, as in everything he says is really definite. Well, and while that may seem like a negative,
That's
it's
true.
actually worked a lot into his advantage because he's distanced himself from the rest of the 30 or so other Republican candidates
Yeah, yeah.
because I noticed that in a lot of his interviews, he's very direct and very definite with what he wants to say. When you ask pretty much every other Republican candidate, they're like, "Oh, well, it's a slippery slope."
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
that
his
I like
major
that.
character trait is that he's a blowhard, right? Like,
I got the reference, Aaron. I got the. I got the
we all
It's
reference.
got the reference.
yeah, we did. Yeah.
I'm dead.
You
I'm
know, his
dead.
major character trait is that he's a blowhard. Like, all he does is start, stoke the fire. Like, that's his
But
thing.
another thing to like about Donald Trump, he was not a fan of the Iraq War per the internet. He said he would
Per,
have never been in Iraq.
Well, he actually
when did he say that?
I don't know. There's a bunch of
If he
quotes
said it
saying that.
after the fact, it's real easy to say that stuff after the fact, you know?
Yeah, okay. It says on talkingpointsmemo.com, never heard of it, that after former hold on, my stupid computer's being slow. Anyways, basically, it's quite a while after the fact. But I think anyone could really agree that there were not enough WMDs, or if there were any at all, to validate an invasion of Iraq. It's just, especially with the amount of lives lost,
okay,
on both the American and the Iraqi sides, and you basically got nowheres.
well, if
And now we have Iran, who's developing nuclear weapons to, yeah.
yeah, so Trump
Yeah,
has
Nuclear.
I
Trump had a
get
bunch
that.
of interviews.
I'm sorry, guys. I mispronounced nuclear. It's nuclear.
Oh yeah,
No,
of course.
Nuclear missiles.
Well,
uh,
anyway, there's like a bunch of interviews of Trump from early 2000s where he demonstrates pretty liberal viewpoints, as in at one point he supported Hillary Clinton, and it's being drug up by a bunch of the other Republicans who are they're already running attack ads against Trump because he is a genuine threat. He's a gamer. He's got game. He's leading every poll imaginable because he's basically against all the other Republicans in addition to the Democrats. So it's basically Trump versus the world at this point, and by actually distancing himself from the rest of the pack, he's managed to garner a lot of focus for himself, mainly through the media. And even though the media's been pretty much attacking him the entire time since he declared that he would be a candidate, it's actually worked to his advantage by creating a bunch of free publicity.
Basically.
Wait, does anyone? Nobody in this like podcast likes him, right? Because
I like some points of his, like the anti-TPP and And now I'm reading he was saying
Yeah, but
on
as
the
a
Kentucky
candidate,
as
I
a
Come on.
don't like him
as a
A
because
lot of
candidate,
his
I'm not
stuff
going to
is
vote for
like a
any. I
I would
can't.
never vote for him.
nativist
There's nobody
campaign.
I could
He
vote
wanted to
for.
deport like the 11 unauthorized immigrants
he-
inside the United States, which make up a lot of our
Yeah, if
population.
we were to classify
It
him
sounds
in
pretty
historical
racist.
terms of like where his standpoint is, he would be somewhere like a nativist or a nationalist, you know?
Yeah.
Like
So like Andrew
I saw
Jackson.
a few things comparing
So you're saying
some of
Andrew
his
Jackson.
viewpoints to, Mussolini-esque nationalism, you know?
I think there's a lot of nationalism that just it's a bit more subtle, But when you think about what we do every single day at school by reciting the pledge, I know that's so hackneyed, and everyone's always like, oh.
Well, are
But
we
still,
required to do the pledge? I don't think so.
no, we're
Not
not.
really.
Although
Well,
sometimes there will be ROTC students who will like give you looks if you don't recite it, even if you
But
stand up.
A
Yeah,
lot of
well,
Rots kids are conservative.
yeah, no, I know a lot of people who are in the military as well, but it's like the people in the military aren't fighting so that you're mandated to say a pledge. They're fighting for the freedom not to do that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Just
don't want to get confrontational about it because, I've not been in the military or anything
And
like
no,
that,
a lot
but
of people in the military are different color and stuff, so they do represent different viewpoints in our history.
yeah.
So I'm reading another article from CNN saying that while Donald Trump did not give a specific opinion on gay marriage, he did say it was the law of the land. And my real question is, why is it a government issue? If two gay people want to get married in the Church of Pastafarianism or whatever that cannabis church is that popped up in Indiana, why not? If two straight people want to get married in the Catholic Church, why not?
How about Our Lady of Perpetual Exemption? Anybody?
Is that a new one?
well, that's
John Oliver?
John
John
Oliver's
Oliver.
John
church.
Obluth,
I
yeah.
might join that just for kicks.
Well, you have to pay him a bunch of money.
Oh,
That's
is
the
it like
entire joke about it.
Scientology?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, back to Trump. He wants to solve the illegal immigrant problem by building the Great Wall of America, which is an
Oh,
idea
that was
so simple, but it's it's
Impractical.
I wouldn't it is impractical, but it seems like it would be an idea 5,000 years ago. People would be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
let's build a wall." But
Yeah, that's exactly
now
what it is.
it seems like such a basic option that no one's considered it. And it
But
just
when
seems
there's
so
like,
weird now when he brings it up.
it is, it's a weird thing. I think if the war on drugs were to be ended, so drugs could be created safely by people who actually are able to create drugs safely. And I know it sounds like a ridiculous like theory, but
No, I
I feel
got you. I
like
back you.
cartels would fall apart, and you wouldn't have a major issue with crime crossing the border, and you would need to build a wall, because people who
Yeah,
do
that
drugs now are going to do it when it's illegal. People who don't do drugs now are probably not going to do it when it's legal,
there's
you
always
know.
going to be another way, yeah.
yeah,
And
and I mean
yeah.
the cartels wouldn't totally fall apart, but I completely agree with you. Like if there was some manner in which it could be controlled, not the sort of, black market back alley dealing that results in so much death, there are people who could get legitimate help in this, situation,
Did
I
you
mean
hear
the
about that one Mexican drug lord who escaped
El
from
Chapo?
the maximum security
Dude,
prison?
Wait, I
dude,
didn't hear about this. Wait, what
you
is it
don't
about?
know about El Chapo?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
so
I'll
dude,
send
he
you a
had
link.
ties to Donald Trump, right? Or
no,
not ties to, but
I don't think that's
he, he
accurate.
he fired shots at Donald Trump. Am I right?
Okay, but anyway,
Yeah, he did.
he's a Mexican drug lord. He got arrested and put in the highest security Mexican prison. But then he had his buddy buy a house like a mile away from the prison, build a tunnel
Tunnel, yeah, I'm reading it.
from the house to the drug lord's prison room. And then he waited until like a day when all the guards were off or something. And then he just motorcycled out of the tunnel.
Yeah, there was a motorcycle. There was air conditioning in this mile-long tunnel.
So I guess
Oh
if
my
you're
god.
going to escape, you better do it in style. So
One
anyway,
final thought
Prison
on
Break,
the drug
awesome
trade.
show. Yeah.
One final thought from me, anyways, is that not only do drugs come across the border with the illegal drug trade being so profitable, but also a lot of weapons coming across the weapons trade, illegal weapons trade. That causes lots of deaths each year, as we saw with the Fast and Furious operation, which everybody seems to forget about.
Okay, well,
But
anyway, so one final discussion right here. The Great Wall of America. Trump's hypothetical wall to keep out those dirty Mexican immigrants.
you know what?
As he says.
I want this to be built because you know who's going to build it? It's going to be a bunch of migrant laborers who come from Mexico
Well,
to build it at below minimum wage. That's who's going to build it. I want to see Donald Trump overseeing the building of this because it'd be so ironic.
well,
Yeah,
here's
that hypocrisy is funny in theory, but
It'd be sad in real life, but it's
That
really
would
funny
mean Trump has to be elected as president, which I would not.
which would be depressing enough.
Yeah.
well, anyway, here's how I think we would fund it. We get all the biggest, since the Great Wall of America, we've got to get all the big American companies to sponsor it, like McDonald's, Walmart, Wrangler Jeans, Mountain Dew, and then we
Posters
put
of the wall.
businesses
Yeah.
within the wall. Like we put a built-in McDonald's in the wall. We employ Mexicans, and they make McDonald's cheeseburgers for the fat Americans on the other side. And then we can have a policy where if they work at the McDonald's for 5 years, they get citizenship. Also, we don't,
Oh my god.
since the wall is not technically in America, we don't have to pay the minimum wage to make hamburgers.
That is true.
So
That's good.
that's how I would solve the illegal immigrant problem with Donald Trump's wall.
That's hilarious, dude.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so should we answer the questions now?
Okay, one question. Magic Bananas 69 asks, apples or bananas? Now
Are you
clearly
kidding
it
me?
appears by his username that he or she is in fact
Yeah,
a fan
you're
of
kind of
bananas.
spinning the question, Magic Banana 69. We'll answer it anyway, but I'd appreciate it if you could keep things more objective. This is a professional project.
Clearly, the correct answer
Yeah, we're obviously
is peaches.
very
I like
professional.
peaches.
No, mangoes, man.
Peaches, man.
Mangoes.
No, you have to choose between
It's
apples
exotic.
or bananas.
I don't like putting bananas in my
Guys,
mouth.
this
I
is
like
why we all failed the
peaches
history
in my
quizzes.
mouth,
What?
It's too
Okay.
and I like putting other things in the peach. I'm pretty sure apples and bananas were
Carter,
metaphors.
Okay, so
Carter,
according
shut
to
up.
you,
Dig yourself in a deeper hole.
you do not like the phallic shape of the banana.
I do like
And
the
so-
shapes of peaches, though.
Now,
I
You
do like green apples, so.
You know,
That's-
but bananas. Here's my case. Just hear me out for a second. You can have a banana that's just a banana, right? But if the banana gets old, you can turn it into banana bread or freeze it and put it in a smoothie.
Well, I hate
Apples-
banana bread. That's the
Product.
thing.
Sounds like a lot of
You
work.
hate banana bread?
Yeah, I do. I really like fried banana.
All right, hold on.
Or
Where's
like
the
very
banana
green
called?
banana. Banana gets ruined so fast, which I don't like.
I guess that's a good point.
Monty's where Monty puts his bananas, they turn all brown.
Oh,
Wow.
What you mean the pantry? Because it's
Mm,
all dark in there.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
makes-
It's,
The boogeyman's in the pantry.
Monty knows what I'm talking about with.
stupid.
Yeah, he's got a walk-in pantry, dude.
It's pretty big. He can fit like 2-3 bananas in there
Stop,
sometimes.
please. Stop.
Sometimes even
Stop.
4.
Stop.
Okay, Carter,
I was talking about his
you're,
real
you're getting
pantry.
really
I didn't mean
borderline
to-
right here.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, my
okay.
2 cents. I have to pick apples. They're really portable, and you can just pick one up and eat it. But the banana, it's all stringy and peely, and I like the taste of apples better.
You know, I'd have to decide over probably a couple weeks of deliberation, but just since everyone's going apple, I'll just get your back on this one, Magic Banana 69, and I'm gonna say banana.
But apples, like the green apples, have like the sour, like luscious taste, man.
Yeah, but what
It's
if you just eat an
delicious.
unripe banana? That's sour too.
Yeah, that's why I throw out bananas. It's disgusting. It like smells. It's like a really pungent.
Really banana smell. It's what they.
Yeah.
To a caravan of noobs out there, if you're listening, caravan of noobs, you're cool. I love you.
Should we answer
What's
what's his
Oh,
name? Gerald von Uberwald one like. As for my question, what are you guys planning to do after you graduate? That's like a serious question.
I'm planning on not doing anything with my life, and
Gerald von Uberwald.
I'll just stay on the internet and make money there, right? That's how it
Of
works, right?
course.
Even
Of
though
course.
this is like a non-profit podcast. But I'm sure you'll get your name out there, Carter.
I will be famous someday.
This is the seed that will grow the tree of your
I'm
creative
planting the
career.
seed right now. I'm using my banana to plant the seed. All right, that's getting borderline again. Mr. Lloyd, if you're listening to this, you're cool. If you're not, then okay.
I don't have that teacher, but
Once more, caravan
Okay,
of
no, this should have been
noobs.
relevant to our podcast,
Caravan
but
of
people will
noobs,
stop
you're
learning.
cool.
yeah, let's talk about what we're gonna do after we graduate. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna write about for an essay that's due soon. So
Oh, you've written plenty of essays, no?
I wrote one of the 25 note cards that we have to do this weekend. So
I've written 0, so you're still
0.
ahead of
Ha!
me.
I'm winning.
Okay, about
And
what I'm
Jorge
gonna do.
Diaz, if you're out there, Jorge
Be
Diaz,
quiet,
you're
Carter.
cool too.
Be quiet. I'm actually gonna answer this question seriously. I want to be like a ped surgeon or a general surgeon. Just saying.
I want to be a businessman of some sort,
Yeah.
I'm
possibly
looking
business
into
operations type thing.
I want to get my MBA though. That's one thing.
I'm
Same,
looking
yeah.
into things like computer science programming, maybe physics, but that seems like a lot of college, like PhD and everything. So
Ooh,
I
mine's
don't know
like
if I can like
15.
afford that. So
Oh yeah. Like
computer
That's why you
science,
don't go
game
to
design.
like a Ivy League school because that's gonna be 60 grand a year over 4
No,
years.
but Ivy League schools, dude, if you get in and you're,
yeah, no.
you're like
More
below a certain
private
income,
schools
they
offer
will
you more
work
money.
to
Yeah.
get you there.
Yeah, I can't. I don't get any of that.
I
stuff.
qualify. Like I checked for
I don't
Princeton. Like
qualify.
I am at the level where they will basically give me a full ride if
Yeah,
I get
like
in.
for
I don't
Stanford,
qualify for shit.
yeah, if your family makes below 120 grand, they take out all your tuition.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I
I
don't
get.
qualify for any of that,
I don't know if it qualify. My
which
parents never told
sucks
me.
because
I
my
doubt.
parents wouldn't pay $240,000 total after 4 years. They wouldn't pay for that, and I really wouldn't expect them to because they don't really owe me
Honestly,
that.
no, I don't want to make my parents pay for anything. If
Same
I have
here.
to take debt, I want to take the loan
I'm not gonna
first.
take debt. I'll work for scholarships. I will not take debt,
Oh, well,
which is
I
why I'm
wouldn't
going
get
to
too
cheap
far
school.
ahead of yourself. I mean, it's kind of
We're gonna have
inevitable.
some debt,
It's really
or
not.
especially for me, because of medical school, I'm gonna have debt.
See, I'm not looking at medical school.
Yeah.
I'm looking at four years of undergrad, then get my company to pay for my MBA or whatever
Your company,
graduate degree.
Your
Yeah,
company.
once I go out there and I work for a while, they will
you're
pay
gonna
for
have a
that.
company.
No, I
I
will
want a
work for a
business.
company,
Are you gonna?
and
Okay,
they'll
I'm just
pay
making
for my
sure you
MBA.
aren't like already starting some. You
I
don't
mean,
have
I'd
like some
love to at
startup that I'm
some
not a
point.
part of.
Actually,
I'd
no.
love to have a startup at some
Carter,
point.
you should start a construction company that will help build Trump's wall.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, well, I think this is a good point to wrap it
35
up.
minutes, really.
So, thanks for listening, you guys. Remember, ask a question in the comments, and you could be answered in the next episode. And
Adios, amigos.
also,
Au revoir.
I started putting these episodes on SoundCloud. If you just want to listen to the audio there, don't know why at this point, but hopefully that'll go somewhere.
Yeah, just more accessibility and whatnot.
Okay, so Carter and I will be back this Wednesday for
What?
the NFL Week 1 preview and predictions. And Sean was not here this time because he's off doing God knows what. But hopefully
With God
we'll
knows who, God knows where.
hopefully we'll get him on next Saturday. And next Saturday's topic, undecided. Post something in the comments on possible topic in politics or sports or entertainment that we
Anything.
could talk
Anything.
about. So
Yeah, I mean, we'll almost definitely see it. Like, there's just enough of you that we can read like all of your comments. So
yeah, but the thing is, the show's gonna get super popular, right, guys? So pretty soon there's
Oh,
gonna be way
yeah.
too many
Of
questions to
course.
answer because people totally love this show.
yeah,
All right.
I can tell by the view count 380. That's like not even
30% of our original.
All right. Well,
what
okay.
about his actual like YouTube channel? That's like not even a percent worth discussing of his subscribers.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll do better on this one. So
I would like to end this session with a quote from my dear friend William Joel
okay.
by saying, "It's still rock and roll to me."